Let's get some broader analysis of the situation and bring in the correspondent Richard Verley, who is in Athens, Europe correspondent for Blick. Richard, good evening to you. Mitsotakis clearly is trying to cash in on what he sees as his popularity.
Much more popular than expected. It's important to remind that most of the polls gave him around 30% of the vote, and he got, as you just said, 40.8% of the vote. So that's an important gap that's indeed seen here as an earthquake, especially for the left. The left is in disarray at the moment. Syriza has managed to get only 20% of the votes, and the former socialist party, Pasok, is having around 12%. So the big question here, rather than to know whether Mitsotakis will win next election, everybody believes he will do so, is what will happen on the left. Will there be an infighting between Syriza, led by Alexis Tsipras, and this Pasok Social Democratic Party?
Indeed, Alexis Tsipras, it wasn't that long ago that he was actually in charge of the country and had great ideas and great plans, which all apparently dwindled away. What does this all mean for Greece and for Greek people, this current situation, Richard?
Well, as far as Tsipras is concerned, I talked with a number of Greek people today, and all of them say that he's too much associated with the past, with the crisis. And there is a real need and a real hope here to turn that page. People want to see that crisis behind them. They still remember that Greece is a very indebted country with a debt amounting to around 180% of the GDP, but they want to look forward. And probably where Mitsotakis managed to win is that he gave a vision for the future. He is also seen as someone who is liked in Brussels, someone who is liked in Washington in a times of crisis with the war in Ukraine. So Tsipras was rather associated with crisis, Mitsotakis with the future, and the result is there.
Indeed. He's walking a tightrope, though, isn't he, the winner? Because whatever he does from now on, of course, he'll be judged very differently.
Well, the political dynamic is in his favor, but for sure, it's important to understand that it's a whole new election that will take place on the 25th of June. It's a bit difficult to figure out because the Greek electoral system is rather complicated, but what